for 100% malted barley and a batch process. This is a combination of processes and it could be made from up to 50 different distilleries' product.
Oh.
So with blends, there's a real art in getting the blend correctly, but it's a mixture of different processes.
Would that mean that it was blended to always taste the same?
Exactly. There's got to be an element of consistency, and that's where the art of the blending side of it really comes in.
Taste?
Yeah,
it would change, wouldn't it? They wouldn't be widely different.
No, it wouldn't be widely different because they've got the same number of casks and the same type of cask that they're constantly filling for consistency. And batch to batch, they obviously reference back. So this one's at 43% also.
That's a bit stronger than that one.
A bit stronger, yeah.
Well, I've had 3 pieces of toast and a bit of pie. So poor old James.
You have some barley for you to nibble on here if you want to.
His interview's not going to make any sense at all.
Right then.
This is my favourite.
This is your number one, isn't it?
Yeah, this is my favourite.
Lafroig, yes. So this is from Islay, and typically with Islay whiskies, you would associate peat smoke, which is what Holly's just picked up on there.
Tar and lobster pots.
Exactly, there's salt in there as well. The peat flavour is imparted at the point of drying the barley. So what they would do is burn peat as they're drying their barley. And in this part of the world, it's a traditional fuel
It's got quite a medicinal smell.
It smells, but it's a nice smell, but I'm not sure I want to drink it.
You either love it or you hate it.
Well, this is quite an extreme version of peated whiskey, really. I mean, there's other whiskies, obviously, that are going to have a slightly lighter peat element to them. So maybe it might be worth you starting off with them and graduating up to something like this.
Need some ginger ale in that one. Wow! Wow, the smoke just suddenly hit me afterwards.
And this isn't even the smokiest. You can get smokier than this. The likes of Ardbeg are even smokier again.
You put ginger ale in that, I'll come round. I'll be...
That is banned. You are not allowed.
Banging on your front door. Okay.
So that was a typical Islay whiskey. No hope, I don't think.
Okay, there was no way I could. Once I'd started that, there was nowhere to go. Okay, this one.
So on to the Glencairn. So this is a Speyside malt. This is a mixture of bourbon and sherry casks combined together.
Oh, this smells lovely.
So this might be more recognisable. This is the most common combination of casks that you'll find in malt whiskies. This is probably the biggest selling whiskey in the world at the moment.
I'm so sorry.
That's okay. I haven't had a drink once yet, so I can have a drink of this one.
Well, that was nice.
Very smooth.
Very smooth.
Very famous as well.
Yeah.
Very nice. Very nice. Still number one is by far my favourite.
Yeah. Now this one's yours, isn't it?
This one is, yes.
Now this is, how much is this a bottle?
This is quite expensive because it's a single cask edition. So Penderyn's more sort of standard range is around about the £30 mark. This is a special edition we did. There's only 216 bottles.
And very porty.
Yes.
Sherry type.
It started
smell.
life off in Buffalo Trace bourbon cask before being transferred to port wine cask for nearly 2 years. Yeah. So this is at cask strength, so it's at 60.6%. So what we're allowing the consumer to do there is to dilute it down to whatever they want.
Hang on, and shall I put some water in it, or shall I?
Because water's not just for dilution; it just does release all the.
It does change the flavour. Yeah, I mean, what I would say is always start off as it is out of the bottle, and then add small drops of water because it will. The flavours are all in there, but it's just a matter of which level they'll be released at.
Say, even though that's really strong and I can taste it, it doesn't make me do the. I can only do this by the shiver test.
Yes.
That
doesn't shiver.
No, actually not.
Well, our spirit is distilled in a slightly different way from your typical Scotch whiskies. We have a single pot distillation. So it is a very different approach to making whiskey, certainly for single malts, and it is incredibly smooth as a result.
You've got two. We've only got 30 seconds, unfortunately, but you've got two here. One's Indian, one's Japanese.
Yes. So it's just to show you that outside of Scotch whiskey, there's a whole world out there of whiskey to go and indulge in. The Amrit whiskey, which is the single malt from India, and then the Yamazaki, which is the oldest single malt you can get your hands on from Japan.
And that is equal. I mean, it's
yeah. I mean, it's all these whiskies now are gaining real critical acclaim, you know. And the good thing about whiskies is there are so many whiskies out there. It's a matter of the consumer sort of pursuing their voyage into the world of whiskey.
I love the warmness of drinking whiskey.
It does instantly make you feel
a
little bit more of a tingle.
Well, that's absolutely marvellous. Thank you very much indeed. As with all alcohol, drink it sensibly and wisely and with caution, but thank you very much.
Thank you.
Absolutely fascinating. Right, still to come, James Morrison is going to perform live, and we've all the soap gossip right after the break.